Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe and let's get into it, guys. So we have the 4th episode of the Yom Kippur War event that we are doing with the guys on the War Thunder Realistic event server. I will leave the server in the description, not in the description, in the comments down below, pin it, so that you can join our events. Well, their events. I'm just a part of it as a player. And yeah, today we have the continuation of the previous video. If you remember, the IDF tried to bomb our convoys heading to the Golan Heights, but we managed to keep them off the convoys, and now we actually have the ground battle. This is the last mini mission before the main event that will happen today on Saturday. The video will come out tomorrow on Sunday. And yeah, it's basically the last part that we needed to attack before the main event, before the actual all-out war with them, right, with the Israelis. So yes, we are fighting for the Syrian army over here. We are going to use a T-62 mainly, and an Mi-4 for a little bit to actually go for them, okay guys? So yeah, we are invading the Golan Heights. So let's make sure we win this before the main event. The main objective is to attack an airfield, and if we can actually get that airfield, we will have an advantage of an extra airfield in the main event, closer to the battlefield. So yeah, let's go. And yeah, I see you in the battlefield. So here we are. I was driving a T-62 in this amazing battle. And yeah, it was a normal map, so don't mind the basically the textures and stuff that have on the map itself. We are in the Golan Heights over here, and we were invading near that Major. I cannot read it, but that city over there that has an airport over there. So yeah, we were kind of outnumbering them a little bit. So I don't know what happened. Maybe they all defected. Because there was a lot of Israeli players right before the event, but then a lot of them just left. And oh my god, sorry about the Discord. Every single time I have Discord doing that for some reason. I need to fix that. But anyway, we were pushing up. We are driving the T-62s, obviously. Amazing tank. They are mostly using M60, Centurions, tanks like that, right? So yeah, and we have some T-55s as well, some, you know, all sorts of tanks from that era that the Egyptians and the Syrians actually used. So yeah, we're pushing up. We need to be careful, right? Because this is a very big map. It's very open. Of course, it is an aircraft map. And with that, you have to be careful because there are players in all the parts of the map, right? So as you see, it's really hard to see anybody there. Try to do kind of a shot there. And the objective is to push. We have kind of a rush. If you remember, I don't know if you play these guys, but no penetration. How did they not penetrate a Centurion? But I don't know if you remember the rush game mode in Battlefield 3 or Battlefield in general. This was basically that. So we had to push, get the bases, push, get the bases, push, get bases, and they have to defend and just remain stationary. No cast support today. We lost a lot of aircraft yesterday, so yeah, that was a problem, but still. They had some helicopters due to the lack of fuel that they had, because we actually destroyed most of their fuel depots in the Sinai Peninsula that would bring fuel to this mission. They didn't have that many helicopters. They had only like 12 at their disposal. We had like 24, so we had a lot more helicopters than them. But they still have some, you know, so yeah. Centurion there. He hit it with me with a hash or a hit or something like that. But I managed to kill him. And we gotta be careful. These helicopters are very, very dangerous. I continue to push. As you see, a lot of the Centurions are destroyed. I'm repairing over here. We lost our commander. There was another guy over there. I wasn't able to hit him. There was a building right there. The main problem, obviously, with these air maps, when you try to actually do tank battles is the hitboxes of the buildings. They are incredibly like big for some reason. I don't know. I mean, come on, like it probably takes a lot of time to properly model hitboxes, and it's something that it's not very useful for the normal game. But it is kind of weird, and there's nothing we can actually do about that, which is pretty sad. ATGMs coming up, as you see from the Hueys. We had some Shukas to protect us, but obviously they can stay further away. Missile like this. Oh my god, sorry about the Discord sound, guys. This is really annoying. I promise I will fix this for the next video, okay? But yeah, as you see, we are fairly good progress here. See right here? I mean, I don't know what was that, if it was the hitbox or anything like that. I mean, that was kind of a bounce, it makes sense. But you will see more rounds like that happening sometimes. That it just doesn't make sense that it's not penetrating. It's been a while since I used this tank, so it might be that they changed the way that the ammo actually penetrates it. But yeah, and it's quite funny. We were using the BM3 and BM4 munitions. But in real life, the Egyptians, I don't know about the Syrians, if they actually had T-62s, but the Egyptians actually they used the BM6, which was a more modern round. So I don't know, what was that, right? And then he didn't penetrate me as well, which is quite funny. Kind of my mistake here. I don't know what was happening with my ammunition there. It was just not penetrating. And then I got hit. I respawned, and until I got back to the battlefield, I basically changed the round. Instead of going to the left side of the battle or the south, I went for the north, more on the mountains over here, to actually try to flank them. But they actually had me flanked basically for the right side there, so I had to be careful. There was a lot of enemies on this compound just ahead. And there was a problem with this mission that I was basically draining a lot of the tickets around. As you know, if you are basically coming together with us in this campaign, we have also, in these mini missions, we have all best out of 3, right? So basically we have 3 missions, and who wins 2 wins. So yeah, it's always like this. The 2 first ones, the Israeli won, but the effects that we did on their forces also did some damage. And then we won the 3rd one, which also affected the amount of T-62s that we had today to invade this airfield. So it is pretty good. If you see right there, there's a hangar right on my 12 o'clock there. And there is the airfield. So this is the main objective. You see the hangars there and stuff. So this is the main objective that we have, to attack that airfield. There was a lot of tanks in the middle of the compound there. A lot of fuel depots and stuff. There was some of the guys were advancing too much. Yeah, I spotted something shooting there. It was an M61. There is a building between me and the tank. It was hard to actually expose where he was. As you see, I'm just trying to maintain it. I'm missing the shots, but I'm trying to get them. Our Shika advanced too much. As you see, helicopter firing ATGMs on us. And almost got us. He almost got us. But yeah, BMP-1 here is helping me to actually spot the targets. You know how it is. T-55 advancing there. So it's quite different, but it really is a fun event, you know. For me, that particularly, I've been a little bit away from the tank battles. This is kind of a nice, like, fresh breeze of air, you know, because it's been a while since I played tanks, and the way that I played tanks, it wasn't like this, obviously. It wasn't a more team-focused, like, realistic kind of environment, right? It was just the normal matches of the matchmaking. So it is really, really different than that. has kind of a more of a balance to it. Sometimes depends on the number. Of course, there are some imbalancing issues as well. But I mean, just like in real life, the unbalancing issues that we have are normally similar to what a real combat would have, right? So for example, if we have more aircraft, we have a significant advantage over an air force that has less aircraft, or if you have more tanks or anything like that, right? So yeah, good shot on the shot call. The middle of the ammunition there, so pretty good shot. He tried to shoot at me. That's the main advantage that the T-62 has. I mean, it's the only tank that has APFSDS, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure all the tanks over here, they normally have just heats and APDS. So the advantage of the APFSDS is the firing rate that can be, not the firing rate itself, but the fire resolution that you need is just very quickly, you know. You just aim to the target and shoot. So it's very, very, very quick. So we kind of are pinned down a little bit over here. There are 2 or 3 tanks on the right side there. There are some tanks inside the compound or the airfield, and the helicopters are shooting at us. So we are kind of pinned down a little bit, but we remained in a fairly good position over here. See another tank over there. Got the engine. Try to spot it with the gun. Another shot killed the commander, but then the Mi-4 got him. So good shot, Centurion down. Another the M61, M51 there, the Super Sherman. I got the transmission, so he's standing still. And another kill with the Mi-4. So with the shots that I'm doing, I'm basically spotting the targets, which is fairly good. Trying to advance a little bit. Kind of a sore thumb here. I mean, shot call got me. So I decided to go with the Mi-4 to help out from the air a little bit. This helicopter is not fully spaded. And it's already, even when it's fully spaded, it really is a very, very slow, helicopter. And I was having trouble with the locking mechanism on the ground for some reason. My buttons just got confused. I don't know what was happening. I was clicking the button, it wasn't working. And I think it was due to the fact that they actually, from the get-go, they change from one to the other. From the helicopter for the aircraft, there are different buttons, and I was clicking the aircraft, the fixed wing aircraft button, right? Which is also not ideal, right? So, yeah, as you see, the airfield right up there in the hangars, as you see on the screen there, and they're defending pretty well the compounds just before it. It was really, really difficult to actually invade it at some point. But yeah. And this was already the second match, if I'm not mistaken, because the first one actually got destroyed fairly quickly just because of the ticket. So we kind of won the first one. And then we decided to go here, the second one. I'm getting too close. I'm already 2 kilometers from the target. Hit the engine. Yeah, I was trying to click the wrong button over here there again. And I was getting too close to the enemies over here. That was a very dangerous thing. They can always respawn in anti-air to actually destroy me. As you see, I see like an M48 or M60 there. Fire the Falanga. Missed. As you see, I'm not the best helicopter pilot ever. I need to do some getting back to flying it to get used to it again. It's been a while since I played with this. Spotted another tank there. A lot of tanks there, as you see. M51s, AMLs, I think it was some Centurions. And yeah, Centurion down. And then I saw a missile coming up. There was a helicopter trying to get me. which is also not ideal because this is a fairly slow aircraft, so you kind of have a problem with that. Since I was too far away from the Huey, I couldn't do anything. I didn't have any more ATGMs. And then I tried to aim for some rockets. Obviously, this doesn't have a computer, so I had to just kind of aim. And then, yeah, I got one of the tanks there with the S5s. And then this happened. We managed to kill each other and pilot snipe instantly both of the the helicopters. So it wasn't the best day ever, but still quite funny. So yeah, I respawned on a tank, a T-62 again, and we shall continue our advance. Now things started to move quickly. So we managed to kill a lot of the tanks that were holding these compounds just before the airfield. So we managed to clear a little bit of the path with the helicopters and with the help of other tanks to actually make sure that we can advance to the airfield. We had still some helicopters flying around, as you see. I was trying to shoot at them here. It was probably a better idea to shoot with a heat round, and you will see why. Right there. I mean, shot through the engine and basically nothing. Even say the tail and the helicopters too, I mean, remained flying. I mean, I don't know how much damage an APF-STS would do in a helicopter. It would just overpan it. But it's kind of like, oh, come on, go down, helicopter. You're severely damaged. You see our helicopters going down over there? it went down in style. And everybody tried to shoot at started to shooting at the Huey, because he still had ATGMs. He could kill several tanks of ours. So it was a big problem, because this time we were actually advancing towards the enemy. So the helicopter was a big problem, because we were in an open space, which is also, I mean, one of the big problems of having a helicopter to fight against when you are in a tank, right? But yeah, just making sure nobody else is in the compound. As you see, the compounds are clear right now. The enemies are on the airfield itself. And we continue to do the push. I mean, we needed to do the push. And finally, the helicopter was shot down by a Shilka. So good shot by that Shilka. I mean, even though the Shilka doesn't have the most amount of range ever, it's always nice to have some form of AA, right? Even if it's just a Shilka. I mean, at this time frame, I mean, the only AA systems that existed in this type were the Shilkas, the M163s, right? Of cannon-wise, right? Of course, in real life, we had some missile systems as well, but I don't think it was used in the Yom Kippur War. But missiles like the Strela and other missiles were being developed. So yeah, we are already inside the airfield on the south side there with the T-62s, and I decided to push to the Bravo map, to the Bravo point, which is the middle of the airfield. And now we really are in an advantage here. So yeah, they are kind of pinned down inside the airfield, and everybody's pushing. So they're basically running, and they cannot do anything. They cannot hold the airfield anymore. And yeah, guys, we are inside the airfield already. So the push was successful. We just need to clear all the remaining tanks, and we will win this battle again for the Arab armies. Yeah, so B started to be kept. As you see, our scouts didn't see anything. The BMP there put it smoke so that we can actually go for it. The hitbox, as you see, it is a big problem, but there's nothing, I mean, the guys can do, right? It's more due to the way that everything is in War Thunder in these maps than everything else. But yeah, guys, basically this is it. We won the war, these wars, the mini mission. And yeah, tomorrow I will be posting the main event. So it was a pretty successful campaign until now. In the first couple events, we barely lost, you know, and now the last two, we actually won by far even. So let's continue the push, and let's win this war. Yom Kippur war is almost finished. Let me know in the comments if you like this type of content, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys, see ya.